Hey guys, it is Paige, Allie, and Shelby, and we are here to share with you one of the most important parts of your business, and that is invites. We know that invites are a very scary part of coaching, and you hear all of these stories, and you've probably received messages into your inbox that feel annoying, right? People are trying to sell you things, but I want you to know right off the bat, that's not what invites are. We are not inviting people to just purchase from us. We are inviting people into this healthy lifestyle, and we're really inviting them into our community so we can invest in them hopefully forever, but at least a couple months to a year, because that's what they're signing up for us with, is an entire year of working out with us and having us as their coach. So you are inviting them to your community, which is an amazing opportunity. So I have Shelby and Allie here because they are both 2019 coaches, and they have a little bit of differing stories with inviting. So I want you to hear the different perspectives and why it's so important to go ahead and start inviting, even if you feel scared in your very first month of coaching. So Shelby, I'll throw it to you.
Okay, yeah, so I'm Shelby, and I became a coach. I was in Paige's challenge group towards the end of May, and like 10 days in, I was like, all right, I want to give this coaching thing a shot if we're doing the workouts and everything. So I started, my first month was technically in June, and I would message people off of my polls, or if they put something in the question box that way, but that was like pretty much it. And I remember a lot of people talking about like sending this many invites every single day, and I'm like, how are you getting that many people to interact like with your polls and all this stuff? And I'm like, what in the heck is, like, what's wrong with me? And so it wasn't about until really September-ish, because I had like friends and family that had seen me go through the programs and everything, and so I invited them to it because I would just talk naturally about it because it changed my life so much. But then it wasn't until about like the end of September into October, and we were like doing a diamond push and stuff, and people were talking about like connecting with new people and inviting new people, and I'm like, how do you do that without sending a cold message? Like, what the heck? And so then Paige kind of like taught me how she goes and like connects with people differently, which if you want to know more about that, we can talk about that. But on the inviting side of things, inviting people that liked my posts, that were watching my stories consistently, because honestly, like that, if they're watching you for like 2 minutes a day, then they're obviously like even like 1% interested, and who knows how, like, what that is going to do for them, because they're like, okay, they're consistently watching you every single morning or every single night, whatever it is, and they're interested at least like just a little bit. So making sure that you're inviting those people and like keeping those connections, even if it's a no, or even if they're giving you all these excuses, like Allie's going to talk about that, like how to go through those conversations. But even if they are giving you excuses that you're like, same, like I have no time, same, and affirming those excuses, but also giving them an answer to that. So really, I want to tell this story because this literally just happened. I had a girl, she was one of the first people to vote on my polls in June, and ghosted me when I reached out to her after she voted on my poll. And then I had like swiped up on her story or something, and we kind of just like talked about something random, and I invited her again in like August, I think, and she was like, I'll wait till I get back to school and like actually have access to a gym, even though all the workouts are at home, whatever. And so so then when she got back to school, I waited like a month or so and like just reached out to her, and she was like, not right now, I don't really have the money and I'm not able to work at the moment. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So then in November, when we had $20 off, and this whole time we're like still like, I was still like keeping in contact with her, just random stuff that was on her story. A couple times she would like swipe up on mine, whatever. And so in November, and I was like, hey, I know that money was like a big concern for you. We have $20 off this entire month. Plus there's a way that you can have a 25% off discount. And she was like, things are crazy with finals coming up and the holidays, of course. And she said maybe on break, whatever. So I didn't even reach out to her over break other than just like to like keep just communicating with her. And I invited her to our to the start of bar in January. She said, no thanks, whatever. And then she literally messaged me this past Monday and said, hey, I get paid on Friday and I'm ready to jump in, but I don't know how to go about that. So give me the deets. And then she came to our coach sneak peek last night. So she hasn't officially signed up yet, but she said that she really wanted to and was actually like interested now. So that's just one story of many. Like I've had another couple of those. I'm sure like Paige and Allie have, like, so if you need like some encouragement in that to just hold out and keep up inviting and keep up those conversations, let us know, because we have many stories to tell you. So I'll pass it on to Allie.
Okay, so I joined coaching in November, and I had already been kind of like posting little things about my Morning Meltdown 100 journey on my story before I became a coach. So when I started as a coach, I already had like kind of an idea of people that I wanted to invite because they had already been supportive of what I'd been posting. So I just went all in and I started messaging people and said, hey, thanks for your support on these posts. Have you ever thought about jumping in with me? Blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, I was so excited to, like sign up my first people that when they responded back, I would just like word vomit all over them. And none of those people signed up. So I was getting super frustrated, super annoyed. And I reached out to Paige and I was like, hey, like I'm inviting people constantly, but I'm not really making, like no one's signing up with me. And so one thing that was like totally pivotal in like the beginning of me being a coach was I would screenshot those messages to Paige and send them to her, and she would give me feedback. And that really helped me figure out what it was that I was doing wrong. And most of what I was doing wrong was just like word vomiting all over people and giving them all of the information up front. And if you get a text that is like the full size of your screen and just has all these details, it's so overwhelming because you don't really even know what it means. So I took a huge step back and I started almost seeing myself as like a doctor, like trying to help diagnose somebody. So when they asked me like, oh, what is it? I would ask them like, oh, well, what are your health and fitness goals? Or what is keeping you from working out right now? Are you more struggling with nutrition? Are you more struggling with exercise? What does your routine look like? And when you get them talking about what it is that they're going through, they're really thinking about what their struggles are. And you're also kind of helping them pinpoint why it is that they need this program. So for example, I had one girl who was really struggling with, she really wanted to lose weight and she wanted to focus more on her nutrition as opposed to working out, but she just didn't really know where to start. And I asked her like, well, what would it look like if you had more energy during the day? And she was able to tell me exactly like, I would have more energy to spend time with my kids because she was a stay-at-home mom, and I would be able to work on my blog, which was like her passion project. And so I was able to help her pinpoint those two things and then use those. She said she had no motivation to really work on her health. And I was like, well, would having a better relationship with your kids and having more time to work on your passion be enough to get you to exercise for 30 minutes a day or really watch what you're eating? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely, yes. And so when you're able to help them figure out why it is that this is what they need, Beachbody is what they need, then they're 1,000 times more likely to say, okay, yeah, I can do that. Or if like money is one of the things that's holding them back, but you're able to show them like, you're going to have more energy for your kids, you're going to have more time for your husband, you're going to be able to fit this into your day. If you show them exactly why it is that it works for them, not for you, not for someone else, but for them, then $160 is nothing. Like I know at the beginning money was a huge thing for me, but once I realized how much it could change my life or it would change my life, I would pay $160 every month to do it. And I think a lot of other people, once they see the value in it, like the actual cost is nothing compared to the benefit that they're getting. So I guess my main things are to focus on the person that you're talking to, really make your conversation tailored toward them and their needs. So you're going to have to ask them questions. You're going to have to get to know them. It's probably going to be a conversation over a while. So don't give up on them. Keep talking to them, and just make it all about them. And then they'll really see the value. They'll trust you, and you'll help them to see the value in it. And if you're struggling, reach out to your coach, reach out to anyone in this group, and we can really help train you through those conversations.
That was perfection. It reminds me a lot of like, okay, I get emails, or not emails, I don't get emails. I get messages in my inbox from like other random companies. And I want you to know how different what we is from, where's my brain? How different what we do is from other companies. Because, for example, I will get a message in my inbox that's all about this thing that I should buy for my hair, for example. This person does not know if I'm unhappy with my hair, if my hair is dry, or if my hair is oily, or if I'm looking to get my hair brighter, or whatever. Like, they don't know anything about me. They're just trying to sell something to me, and you can feel that. So you don't ever want people to feel like that, because you're actually trying to, like Ali said, solve their problems with what we offer. And if they don't have problems that we need to solve, you don't need to help them, and that's okay. It makes me think of like when I go to my salon to get my hair done. My hair lady knows me, you guys. She's been doing my hair for 2 years. She knows everything about my hair. And when she recommends something to me, I know that she has my best interest in mind, number one, because we have a relationship. And number two, she knows the problems with my hair because we've been having conversations, and she's been doing my hair for years. And it's the same way when you get into conversations with people, just like Ali said, you've got to know them before you can offer them anything, because their struggles, and like Ali pointed out, you're helping them understand why they reached out to you or why they're watching you in the first place, because they might not know just how badly they really need this. So what I want to do to just wrap this up is show you some examples of invites, because we know it's scary. We know you have never done anything like this before, and we know that you don't want people to be annoyed by your messages, quite frankly. So here are some examples of how you can actually invite people. And if this makes you super nervous, I just want to put this image into your mind. Imagine if you had a birthday party coming up over the weekend and you posted on Facebook just a generic invite of, hey, everybody, I'm having a birthday party. Everybody's welcome. Come and go as you please. Just seriously, would you go to that birthday party if you saw it on Facebook? Because for me, I wouldn't. Unless it was like my mom or my sister, then I would go because I would know obviously I'm invited. However, if a friend reaches out to me and says, hey Paige, I'm having a party on Saturday and I'd love for you to be there, I'm probably going to show up because I know that invite was targeted towards me. They actually want me there and I feel personally invited. And it's the same thing with your groups that you're running. Like I said, you are inviting people to your virtual party. It is a virtual party that you get to create, a community of women that you are encouraging. So here are some examples. I'm not going to read them all. Trust me, I don't need to, but these will be available for you. You are going to be inviting to challenge groups, which we'll talk about later in the week. You are going to be inviting to coach webinars and coach sneak peeks. And you will be inviting to coaching eventually. And you invite to all of these things a little bit differently, but I'm going to read the first one in the challenge group. So here's something I would send. I might send this to people who like posts. I might send this to people who vote on polls, or I might send invites to people who watch my stories, or even new followers. So, hey, Sally, I saw your like on my post about my upcoming challenge group. We will be starting a 4-day-a-week program on insert date. That's super important. Would you want to do this program with me? It is a targeted question. I'm telling her when we're starting, and I'm telling her what we are starting. And she gets the opportunity to respond to me. And then, like Ali mentioned with the conversations, from there, she's going to say yes or no, and you get to go on a conversation based off of that. So this invite script, there are lots of them there for all the different things that we invite to. It will be available to you, and I want you to use the exact wording or change it to sound like you. It doesn't matter. But what we want you to know for sure is that your business moves forward the more you can connect with people, the more you can invite, the more you can have conversations, the more you can build trust and know the people who are following you. Your business will move forward. We know it's scary. We know you're terrified to go out there and invite, but do it anyway, because we want you to be successful in this business, and we want you to help as many people as you can, because we are all living testimonies that taking care of ourselves regularly has actually changed our lives. And now you have the opportunity to do that too, but you've got to talk to people about it. Otherwise, they will probably never come into your circle. So go out there, get it done, and make sure you ask your upline for feedback along the way.